Anything that appears static is an illusion. To truly make art, we must become conscious of the fact that everything we experience is based on our perception. We perceive our ideas, we perceive our thoughts, and we perceive the material. Our perception is always at the center of our reality, whether we are aware of it or not. This course was less about producing a specific outcome like a finished object or an artwork, and more about the students themselves. Through a simultaneous increase in awareness of both the inner world, like the unconscious, like images, ideas, thoughts, and feelings, as well as the outer world through our senses, we gradually tried to attend to the different layers of the system of ourselves as well as the system of art. We developed a map in which the interconnectedness of consciousness all the way to form and material through the system of the body becomes visible. Intellectually, we started from Schiller's theory of play to Schelling's transcendental aesthetics to very particular ideas from Hegel or much later Niklas Luhmann, Kittler, and contemporary Iranian philosopher Reza Negarestani. The process of an idea becoming a form is omnipresent in daily life, but only in the artwork is it fully visible. Only the artwork can connect us to that which is truly before words and beyond reason. At the start, it was prevalent that the students' desire concerning art was centered around the term expression. But what is expression if not the process of something inner and ineffable, something we cannot explain, that finds its way into a form or into a material? Drawing became the center of our expression to investigate what could be a material. We redefined this term, material, to mean anything we could be aware of: our thoughts, our body, society, or the logic of the material in physical matter. Drawing is naturally aware of the body, as the body is just as much the material, for example, the length of our arms, our ability to move, etc., as the paper or the pencil. In its reduction to the simple tool of the pencil, this ever-present fact of our body and our perception as the base of all experience becomes effortlessly visible. Drawing is close to writing, writing is close to drawing. A sign is close to a non-sign in the case of a drawing, or a sign without a specific meaning. Through our dreams, by remembering them, translating them into form, we were tapping into the fantasy of our body where it naturally plays with our senses, ideas, images, etc. Students who wrote down their dreams every morning noticed something called lucid dreaming, in which one can become aware of the fact that one is dreaming and become able to play with the dreams directly. This way the students had an archive of images to work with, which were very unique to themselves and beyond specific categories. The self became a central theme as a symbol for the inner world and its perception, as well as its manifest form in the self-portrait, in this instrument of the body. When we were drawing on the floor, we were making self-portraits just as much as when we were drawing ourselves or drawing the buildings outside the window. They are all referencing different aspects of ourselves and our perception. On the floor, we were translating immediate body perception, in the portraits our identity, in the buildings our world perception, in writing the perception of our thoughts. We went on to find the characteristics of playing, first finding common ground between artistic production and play. In both, we are not tied to a particular use, like anywhere else in society. In both, we choose our boundaries with certain rules, like the material or the game, in which we express the freedom of the formless, of the infinite, of ideas. We looked at playing in art history and in our own work. To dream up the new, like a specific future or a character or a scene or an image. To exaggerate, so to bring out the idea through exaggeration, through overarching something within the form. This could be the size or a number or the color or the shape, or to repeat something or to displace something, so meaning to play with the context, or to reduce something to its essence formally. We practice to focus on the idea, not the form, while creating, and then to find the idea in the form we had created and bring it to life through play. Historically, we started from Mayan masks, 1300 before Christ, to early Chinese artifacts, to Gothic churches, to Rembrandt, to Franz Xaver Messerschmidt, to Kazimir Malevich, to Otto Dix, to Marcel Duchamp, Andy Warhol, to Isa Genskin. And we could see that gradually art as a system could become aware of itself and start to play with every aspect of its being. Starting with purely formal aspects towards playing with its position in society, its context, its concepts. The general characteristics, however, remained the same throughout the centuries. Relationships between form and idea, which were more or less aware of their determinations, the determining factors. The more aware, the more playful they were. The more the idea came through the material and the more play there was in the form. The idea references itself in the material and the material references itself in this play, which could be called an abstraction. Abstraction as the play between its nature, the nature of the material, and the nature of the idea. This was very visible, for example, when looking at the different self-portraits Picasso made during his lifetime. In the course, there was no emphasis on the final works, but they somehow started to appear out of this playing in material, out of the space of drawing, researching the structure of the self in relation to art and its history. And then it became very much about the individual processes of the students. And please allow me to read one very touching message from a student from that day. He says, "I never thought of painting on the ground before tonight. At the beginning I thought it was a difficult thing, but when I actually went down and closed my eyes, I suddenly felt that everything was different. Everything was somehow up. Suddenly my world is only myself. I can feel the pressure on my heart from the ground. This feeling is so strong that I can hardly even move the pen in my hand. So I try to draw the position of my heart as I perceive it. When I drew in other positions, the heart moved with the body. In the process of painting, I gradually felt the boundaries of the paper and seemed to be divided by the paper as if I was a painting on this paper. My hand is holding a pen and moving hard on the paper. I can feel my whole body moving with the movement of my hand. Even though I didn't give them instructions, I just gave instructions to my hands. This feeling is amazing. As I breathed, I felt my lungs filling like a balloon and my body fluctuated up and down. I tried to record the movement and position changes of my body with a pen. When I opened my eyes and saw my own work, I was very surprised because it recorded my feelings very well and it was a new kind of body. With her exploration, the body has become a painting on paper, and at the same time, I want to tell you that I love her." So to finish up, we tried to essentially become conscious of the steps of ideas becoming a form, to translate this inner process into a material, and then to let the material influence and redefine our ideas and our thoughts. And this process of abstraction documented in the material we found out to be playful. Thank you.